it's Lisa. I've been working on some cards and I wanted to share with you how I did the flowers, and then we'll do a little bit with the backgrounds as well. Burlap is a really popular thing in scrapbooking right now, and I was at Hobby Lobby the other day and I rounded the corner of the floral department on my way somewhere else, and I happened to spot this flower, and they had some other things also made out of burlap. They also had the darker colors, but I've used the hydrangeas before in silk, and you just pull the petals off and then pull the center out. The flower was $4. It's normally $8, and they had it on half price, so there's a lot of petals there to work with. And you can get quite a few flowers out of these. I'm just going to pull that plastic center out. Let me go ahead and take a couple of these out here. Okay, let's see, let's maybe have 3 so we have several to work with. So we're going to do some misting to get them the colors and patterns, some of the ones that I have here. This is one of my favorites. And then also this pink with the glitter going around the outside. So I'll show you how I did those. I'm going to start with this flower, and it's got this green base to it. This is Heidi Swap's Mint Shine Mist, Color Shine Mist. And I'm just going to give this a nice little coat of the Color Shine, and then let that dry. And that'll take a little while to dry. Kind of set that out here. All right, and I'm going to do one in pink. And some of the ones around the edge, let's see. I'm going to do the smaller one. And this is Dilution's Funky Fuchsia. And this is a beautiful color, but it puts out a lot of color. And it bleeds kind of badly. If it's not dry, you will get a lot of pink on your hands, or any of their colors. They have wonderful, gorgeous colors, but when they're wet, they really get all over everything. They do wash off though. So anyway, I'm going to let that one dry and let this one dry, and then we'll come back. Actually, this one I could probably go ahead and spray it. It doesn't have to get completely dry. So I'll just lay it aside. And how I got the design on this one is I used this stencil. This is from Christy Tomlinson. It's one of her stencils, but it could be any kind of stencil. What I'm looking for is that design in the middle. So I'm going to put the stencil right in the middle of the flower so that the center of the stencil is right covering the center. And then I'm going to mist it with some Heidi Swap Navy Color Shine Mist, which is a beautiful color. And about 1 squirt, well, maybe 2, because I didn't quite get the top of that good. Okay. I'll take that off, and that gives me a beautiful design. Now I have something here that I could use for another flower. Let's see what happens if I just take this plain one and go over it with the Color Shine. Put that in the middle. Just experiment a little bit with that. And I've got a little bit of design there. And that's actually what I did to get the very center of this one. Except I had, I think, some pink mist on it, and I used some of this blue. So I had a little bit different colors, but I still got a little bit of almost spider web kind of design there. So we can do a little something with that one too. Now to get this finish on the edge, I just took some stickles and went around the edge, and these are the clear ones, diamond. Oops. Spread those around the edge. And what they're going to do is pick up the fuchsia color, because this is a water-based mist and another water-based product going on top of it. They're going to blend together, so the stickles are actually going to end up being pink colored when they dry. For this one, to add the accents, I actually used some stickles that had some color to them, some Muse colored from Recollections, and just did some little stripes there. Okay, this it's not completely dry, but it's had some time to dry, and you can see how that has absorbed the pink color in there, just like this one did. It picked up some pink and some purple on that edging. So for the background of this, I'm going to do a simple embossed resist, and I'm working with some plain white cardstock, using my embossing buddy over the top of it, and then adding Versamark to a background stamp. And then I'm going to use clear embossing powder and heat set this. I love working with embossing because you get, of course, the wonderful tone on tone, and then you can add color to it, and the embossed area will resist the color. And you can do this with all kinds of things, with distress inks, with mists. Today I'm going to be using some gelatos, which also create just some gorgeous colors. So we'll get this heated up, and then the leaf design will stay white or virtually white once you add the colors to the back. Gelatos are kind of, they're a creamy thing, texture. They look like lipstick and kind of go on that way, and they dry permanent, which you'll see later, a little bit later on in the video. I'm going to come back to the flowers, and we're going to use them again for that, and you'll see the advantage of the permanency. It doesn't matter that much here, but they're just another thing that you can use with embossed resist or in other ways on your cards. So I'm adding some water. You do need to use some water to them to get them to blend. And I've started in the sort of upper, not quite in the center, but I was trying to get kind of a look here where like the sunlight was coming in, and then it was getting darker as it went to the edges. Added some water, and I'm going to mop up the excess there with the paper towel, and then just rub off the color over the top so that the white shows through. And you can always do lots of blending. As I say, embossing is just such a fun technique because there's so many things you can do with different products. And on this one I added the red. I didn't do that on my other sample, and I really like the red. This one I just did some shades of blue on a chevron stamp. Okay, what's this stamp? From Hero Arts. So those are just some ideas for how to do your cards, and did the background here, and then I just added a little bit of ribbon to them. Really simple designs there once I had my flowers done, and I was just assembling a couple of layers of flower together and adding a brad in the middle. So just some simple little techniques here to kind of pull together a flower for your cards. There's one other thing I wanted to try while I had the gelatos out here. Let's take this one that we were playing with a while ago. What if we put the gelato directly on it? And then added some color that way. That's not bad. Probably want to do this with a brush and not with your fingers. That's not a bad flower too. And the nice thing about gelatos is once they dry, they're permanent. So if you add, if I do this one, once it's dry, if I added the stickles to it, the stickles could stay clear because it wouldn't pick up the color. So I'll experiment with that one. So I just wanted to share with you, this was the pink one where I went around with the clear stickles and it picked up all that pink color. And then this one is one that was with the gelatos instead of mist, and it did not pick up the blue color because the gelatos are permanent when they dry, so it doesn't mix with the with another medium. So you just get different looks depending on which products you're using.